Welcome to Dice at the Table. This is Tactical Onions Creature Feature Friday. And this Friday, we're going to talk about something new. So we have covered already the Tactical T-Rex, creating orcs and goblins and whatnot. Last week we talked about the blah 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 vampire. Um, this week we're going to talk about a class of critters, and those critters are the demons of the pale. So we're going to just do a real quick overview of demons of the pale. And we're going to look at the first pale demon first. We're going to kind of go through a couple of these kind of rapid fire. All right. So, demons of the first pale. In brief summary, they're level 3, so they're lower level. You immediately think, ooh, I could probably throw these at some players. Some low-level players. These might be like an early-level, cannon fodder demon to throw at them. I want to bring your attention to the fact they have a pretty high hit point threshold. However, their armor is 2. So you're thinking, they're probably going to fall from crits first, except they have crit reduction. So severity of any crit dealt to the creature is reduced by 1 per tier. So high hit points, -1 tier severity for crits. That means it's going to be a little tricky to just drop them. Yeah, that could be fun. They are highly resistant to damage and criticals of one element. Earth, air, yada yada. Attacks of this elemental type are treated as one size smaller per tier. Alright, they have light sensitivity. That could be a useful thing to use against them. Natural armor, natural weapons, acute smell, demon sight. They are abominations. They have distinct odor. They have a fleeting soul. Does not tie to this plane, and the body and soul dissipate immediately after death, depending on its nature. It may dissipate in a wisp of smoke or an explosion of raw energy. Yeah, so if you've played like D&D or Pathfinder or other quote unquote traditional fantasy role playing games like that, you may have ideas of like demons and devils and daemons and fiends and all that. Uh, demons of the first pale or demons of the pale are, you shouldn't really confuse them with those uh, Wizards of the Coast slash Pathfinder tropes. But the exploding demon is kind of a classic. I'll say that much. Um, they don't sleep. Uh, yeah. Um, these ones, thankfully, they don't have the damage reduction for like resist iron and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to point out high hit points, crit reduction. I don't think I'd throw a bunch of these at like a level 4 party. 5 level 4 characters, and you throw a bunch of these at them. It could be a problem. Let's give a brief description. They're about 7 feet tall. They have pale gray skin. They're naked and hairless except for a single clump of wiry hair protruding from the top of their large skulls. They're easily the weakest of the demons, but they travel in groups of 2 to 20. So, yeah, I don't think I'd throw 20 of these at a frickin' party. Maybe if it was like some kind of they're invading the town, oh god, and the guards are helping, maybe that's something you could do. But on tabletop Rolemaster, I've noticed that if you have more than about somewhere between 8 to 12 uh, bad guys and a party of 4 to 6, somewhere in there, once you start getting towards that 15 plus uh, NPCs and PCs, monsters and players, it can get a little hard to track and a little gonzo. However, with Rolemaster Unified on Foundry, I'm willing to bet you can keep track a little easier. All right, now let's talk about second Pale Demon. Okay, big changes. This one swims. Okay, they're underwater swimming jackasses. 118 hit points. They have power points, but they don't have spells. They've got a decent movement rate. It's even worse underwater. Okay, thankfully, solo, one, maybe two of these tops. They attack a lot of stuff. They're 7 feet tall. They do have AT3 for leather skin. Let's look at their talents. Okay, they have an attack sequence, so it's a ram, crush, drown kind of combo. They do have that critical reduction, right? And then they do have disproportionate strength. All attacks for the creature is treated one size larger, so that's terrible. Uh, they have a lot of the other normal demon, quote unquote, normal demon features: natural weaponry, acute smell, sight, water current detection. That's important. That's how they're going to be able to sense players. They are an abomination, and overall, yeah, terrible, terrible thing. Now, what I want to draw your attention to, movement. Alrighty. Fish out of water mode, their movement, it's not too different to an average player character. Put them in the water, right? And it can get bad, right? Now, if we look at our Warrior Monk walk per phase, he seems to be no, he's not overweighted. Walk per phase, jog, run. Oh, this is swim. I was like, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so walk and jog are all comparable to our fish guy, right? Now, fish guy run. There we go. 5.5, 5.25, 11, 10.5. So, yeah, they have a slight advantage, but yeah, not really. As soon as you switch to swimming, right? So 2.6 to 10. So that's nearly 4 times the movement rate at a jog, right? Walk, 5 feet, 1.3 feet. Yeah. Clearly, if you have uh, the party in a situation where they're in water, especially if they're in deeper water, God forbid they're trying to tread water and this thing attacks, um, well, it's going to suck for them. Obviously, I would probably only have the one, and I try to make them as comparable level wise as possible, but it's all going to come down to the environment. One of the things I could see, especially if the party was silly enough to put themselves in like deep water, or maybe they're trying to like cross a body of water, and this thing can kind of the troll under the bridge, jump up and screw with them, and then drag somebody into the water. I would probably initiate like a grapple. Very hard to tread water in leather armor while a 7 foot tall water demon is grabbing your legs and your arms. So yeah, uh, I don't think I would actually throw this against the party unless I knew the party was prepared. Definitely wouldn't want to have this as a wandering monster. All right, now let's talk about the next one. This is where it gets interesting. All right, Demon of the Third Pale. They're level 10. They have 221 hit points, a very decent base movement rate. They're 9 feet tall, and they fly. They got bat wings, and they use weapons, and they use claws. Now let's look at the talents first. Let's go there. They have an attack sequence: ram, crush, stab, die. This is the first demon that has proof versus a proof weapon one. Um, So basically, if you're attacking it with a non-magic iron weapon, it's not going to do any damage. It's going to be immune to those crits. That sucks. So GMs out there, game masters, uh, don't throw third pale demons at the party unless they have magic. Because if you just throw this guy at them and they don't have anything to damage them, all your melee people, they're screwed. Your archer, they're screwed. Um, the wizard, they're screwed because as soon as the wizard actually drops a, an attack that hurts this guy, he's going to sweep over, claw the shit out of him, probably fly up in the air a couple 100 feet. moving, 30 feet around. Let's look at its flying, right? This one's flies. Yeah. So its jog is 30. So that sucks. Its walk is 15, man. It's flying walk, right? Uh, so yeah, I would claw the wizard, initiate a grapple, and then fly straight up and just keep flying. Because like round two, you're 45, 55, you're 60 feet in the air probably by round two. Definitely by round three, you're 60 plus feet. You might be 70 feet in the air. What the hell is that wizard gonna do? What's that wizard? What's that cleric gonna do? Break the grapple and then fall 60 feet? Well, there are crushing criticals for a reason, folks. So yeah, this would be just terrible. Uh, that I know that there's a certain player in my party that this would give flashbacks and PTSD to. All right, so I also want to point out claw, ram, and crush. Right, those are pretty beefy. Now this one, I dropped a claymore on him because I wanted to show the demon of the third pale. We'll bring him right here. We'll just drop him right there, and we'll grab a cleric. We'll put the cleric right there. Now I want to show demon of the third pale. This guy right here, he has a long sword. Ready? Now he's got claymore. Okay, so you see that outer circle? The demon of the pale can shred the cleric. Move him just a little. There you go. He can still attack the cleric. Cleric can't attack him. So same thing here works if on a 3D scale. This guy can swoop by and hit the cleric and stay out of melee range of the cleric, and that would work for cleric, uh, fighter, paladin, all your if hell your rogues. Um, yeah, they're SOL. So Demon of Third Pale totally sucks for the party. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Demon of the Fourth Pale. So this is probably where things take a turn. Okay, first of all, level 15. They're 10 feet tall and standing upright. They're markedly contrast with beasts of the third pale. To begin with, they have huge eyes guarded by bony brow, inset with 2 to 4 small, sharp horns. These creatures have mottled light blue coloration and long, thin appendages including a whip-like prehensile tail. All insane, these creatures are doomed to forever wander the endless tunnels. They have superb sight, including dark vision, infravision, and ultravision, but lack senses of touch, smell, and taste. Slender, agile, and strikingly precise, they usually throw things or resort to spell casting. As a race, they have mastered both forms of attack. Okay, let that soak in. All right, fourth pale demons, 190 hit points, 94 power points, 32 base movement rate. Okay, first off, let's look at this real quick. Running. Yeah, they're going to outrun the party. Climbing. They're going to outclimb the party. Swimming. Okay, they're not so good at swimming. Yay. Good news there, for everybody. Jump in the water. Oh, crap. Those other demons are there waiting for you. All right, so armor class wise, the AT2. They have strikes, crushes, and tail attacks that are all. They're not like holy crap, but I'm willing to bet things are going to become holy crap when we click on spells. Okay, so they have a lot of base spells. Just so many ways to mess with you, right? Curses, curse detection, night vision curse, sky curse, ulcer curse. Target can only eat bread or dairy products. Anything else will aggravate their ulcer. That's just fucking mean, man. That's just mean. Power leech. Okay. Ugliness of Target's appearance becomes hideous and horrifying. If a person sees the uncovered face of the target or gets within 3 feet of the target, it must make a resistance roll. Okay, so this is just a bunch of just I'm a dick. Alright. Repel holy dark sleep. Knock a person down. Make them sleep. Dark binding. But yeah, just there's so many possible tactics here, right? Disease. That sucks. Um, Good luck hiding from them. It's just, yeah, a whole lot of suck. Now we're going to go to talents. Okay. They have an attack sequence. They have critical reduction. Deadeye. Uncanny aim with a ranged weapon. That sucks. Immunity to stun. Proof against weapons. Iron again, right? Quick draw. They master drawing a weapon quickly. Drawing specific melee combat. Train specialized. Okay, that just sucks. Um, a lot of the standard demon stuff we've talked about, but they do miss sense, feel, touch, smell, and taste. So those can probably be exploited, except it can see you from a long, long, long ways away. They are fleeting souls. They could possibly explode or turn into wisps of smoke or ice or whatever. It's kind of up to the GM to decide. Inventory wise, they don't currently have a weapon on them, so you can throw some javelins on them because they like to throw things. Uh, yeah, I would throw some javelins on there. Do they have skills? Let's give a quick over their skills. Perception, restricted quarters. That's scary. Decent body development. They have the ability to move around in combat and be effective in combat with some combat expertise skills. Range weapons, 122. Unarmed, unarmed, unarmed. So, yeah, that's just. That's not fun. Oh, they have acrobatics. Good. Big, flippy, gymnast, spellcaster, demons. Glad I wore my brown armor. That's all I'm going to say about that. Alrighty. And then, yeah, we've got all the spellcasting lists they have. Uh, there's just so much. I would go through, as the GM, I would go through and learn everything you can about every one of these spells. I would have a little binder or legal pad and write down the spell combinations that appeal to you the most. Demon of the Fourth Pale. This is where you really start to challenge the party. This is, yeah, this is where there's so many tactics, there's so many things you could do, and it just gets worse from there, right? Now, we're going to just real briefly look at something else. We're going to jump into Demons Beyond the Pale, type 6 fire. So we got earth, fire, ice, lightning, water, wind, right? So you got your elemental demons beyond the pale. That's just great. And then you've got although you get your six, you get total six here. Let's just look at the sixth pale just for fun. All right, so he's only level 26. That's not terrifying. The hit points are terrifying. Damn. Yeah. Demons Beyond the Pale. This is what I always remember from like a long time ago when I was first learning about Rolemaster. Is I would read these Beyond the Pale demon stats and be like, what the hell is that? Uh, this stuff seems scary as frick. So a demon beyond the pale. Look at the picture right there. Does that not just say like scary ass Balrog kind of thing? Granted, he's not made of smoke and fire, but well, that image isn't anyway. Um, they're just level 55. Yeah, okay, you're fighting a Balrog. Got it. 722, 724 hit points, 188 power points, a really good base movement rate. I'm gonna bet this guy flies, doesn't he? Yeah, so he can outrun the party. He can outfly the party. Hell, he can almost outswim the party. Damn. So he's got strikes and crush, almost 200 and 148. Uh, we're going to skip spells for a second. We're just going to look at tactics. Okay, so yes, he has attack sequence. He has an aura critical within anyone within 5 feet of the critical, a 5 foot radius of the creature suffers critical of the specific type, like heat in this case. Okay, so it's tier 4 heat critical if you're within 5 feet of him. That sucks. Fear aura. That sucks even more. Elemental internals, elemental reduction, elemental vulnerability, immunity, elemental improved defense. Press the advantage, proof weapon, regeneration. Awesome. Slow bleeder, twisted form, natural armor. Yeah, what was his armor? Let's look. Oh, yeah, same as plate mail. So, yeah, that's not inconvenient at all, is it? Yeah, and then just standard-ish demon abilities, fleeting soul. I would definitely have this guy explode. Now let's look at his spells. Dark summons, fire law, all to 55, elemental shields, luminous elements, spirit mastery, all to level 55. There's knocking people out. There's burning them to death. There's summoning. Let's look at the level 55 summon just to give you an idea. Uh, Level 50 can use any lower level mass summon. Summons 2, except a number of options equal to the caster's level are chosen. Summons 2. Let's look at summons 2. We're almost there. Summons 3, summons 2. Level of summon creature increased by 1. We'll go to summons 1. You instantly summon first level non-intelligent living creatures. Obviously, this gets bumped up with higher levels. Just this motherfucker can bring some friends. Alrighty, that's scary. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about what tactics you would use fighting the various demons, both the demons of the Pale and demons beyond the Pale. That being said, I will see you guys next week. I'm thinking something dragony next week. We'll look into a dragon, I think. Definitely look into it. Because we started with a tactical T-Rex. I think we should do a tactical D-Rex? Dino Rex? A Dragon Rex. I will see you guys next time on Dice at the Table Tactical Onion. If you like what you're seeing, please like, share, subscribe, do the thing for the whole thing. I've got a couple other things going on here. I've got a Let's Play. We've got a Pathfinder campaign that's in the final stages. Like everybody's level 18. The campaign is starting to wind down, and that we do episodes every Sunday for that. And if you like any of this, please go to my Patreon, Dice at the Table, leave a coin in the bucket. I would greatly appreciate it. Any support, any help, always appreciated. Thank you very much. I will see you guys next time on Dice at the Table Tactical Onion.